What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wulff Den Live, episode 103, the #1 General Hux fan cast on the internet.
Now I have my mic near me for a reason. It shocks me every single time I touch it.
I can attest to this. This is a fact.
So will you have to hold my hand?
Yes.
Okay. I'm terrified. Okay, we're good.
All right.
We're good. All right, we're good. Before
Yeah.
it shot. So we switched out the surge protector because it wasn't even plugged into the computer. It was plugged. We think the surge protector was old, or I think the surge protector was old. I'm all staticky. Took off my sweatshirt.
Yeah.
I'm always staticky.
You are.
I'm
You're
just
very
a hairy
staticky man.
mess.
Yeah.
I'm just a big ball of static
But
all
I'm
the time.
hairier than you, and I'm less staticky than you.
I don't think you're hairier than me.
I think I am.
Not anymore.
Well, up here, maybe no, but like...
I think this compensates for a lot of the rest of it.
It might.
You got a lot of body hair.
I got,
going on,
yeah.
right?
From like here down...
That's not to say that I don't. But...
Right.
But
I mean, you look like, a teenager under that shirt, whereas I live up to my
comparatively.
last name. Yeah.
Comparatively. But trust me, there's some stuff going on here. Well, I'm drinking sail away coffee. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, look at that. And
There's
I'm drinking
sleigh ride.
out
Zoom
of
in
sail.
me.
I think I'm sitting on the remote.
This holiday spiced cold brew. I don't know what the hell's in it.
You
But
can
it's-
definitely taste the holiday spice,
it's
whatever
black,
it is.
so there's no milk,
Yeah.
but it is sweet.
Yes.
There's some stuff going on in here,
Yep.
and it is really, really good.
And I am drinking out of a Sail Away Coffee mug. And if you like either of these, you can get them at sailawaycoffee.com and use the promo code Wulff or Wulff Den.
It is Wulff.
Just Wulff. Use the promo code Wulff to get 10% off your purchase.
It is very. This
Yes.
stuff. I'm into this. I went to their holiday party over the weekend, and I said, "Give me this," and they did. Took a little long to give it to me, but you know what?
Yeah, eventually got it.
I'm happy. It's good. What up, guys? Oh, thank you to where'd he go? Ashley.
Ashley
Sponsor.
Mercado, I believe. Thank you.
I thank you so much
for being our new sponsor.
I'm surprised it didn't make a sound, but
Probably because we have the Star Wars metal going.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
I'm gonna say it's that.
You might also notice underneath me is the Discord chat for sponsors only.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. You could see my hair attaching to the chair. So next time I touch this mic, I'm just gonna get blown away.
Yeah.
What up? I'm not gonna say your name because it's an allegory for Hitler. Sam, Ugly Puppy, Cole, Kid Cash. Hello, everybody.
Hello, anyone and everyone who has joined us today.
Mr. Rock.
Bob, before we begin,
What do you have to do?
well, we like to eat
I don't
food
like this.
here.
I don't like this.
Well,
already.
no.
I don't like this face.
No,
you
no,
got going on.
No, it's not bad. I got us some Hershey's Gold
Ooh,
to try
what is
on
this?
the show. This is so it's a new Hershey thing.
Oh, peanuts and pretzel.
Peanuts, pretzels, and I believe caramelized cream in here. This was at 7-Eleven, so I just picked it up. It was there, and I figured give it a try because that's what this show is about: eating food and General Hux.
All right. Oh, it's salted.
Yeah.
That's
it's actually salted.
That's a weird pattern.
Yeah. If you look on the back, it shows like the shape.
That's a weird pattern.
Yeah.
You gotta zoom in or
I'll
something.
just do that. Yeah, that's the
Want to
shape.
break off
it's
a
in.
piece for yourself? Or you want some of this?
Yeah, just break up. Yeah. All right.
Ashley likes your beanie.
Thanks, Ashley. I like this.
It was very good.
Very good.
I would get that.
Yeah.
If I saw it.
So, yeah, there you go. Sweet meets salty, creamy meets crunchy. The Hershey's Gold peanuts and pretzels available at your local 7-Eleven.
It's definitely white chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
But peanut butter flavoring
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of salt.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of.
It's like a hint of caramel in there, or caramel, if that's how you pronounce it.
I think that's just them trying to get the peanut butter flavor.
Mm-hmm.
How's this for a Star Wars spoiler cast?
Yeah.
I'm double checking to make sure. Okay, people are able to say Star Wars words in the chat.
Okay.
For a second, you weren't able to say. I still had Star Wars words banned. But we're good, guys. We have to talk about The Last Jedi because we both saw it.
We do.
Opening night. I very much enjoyed it.
I love the hell out of it.
However, I had a lot of problems with it. I want to say I can't I can't stress this enough that I really liked it. It was a very good movie.
Yes.
I am going to say things that are very negative about it, but overall, it was a very good movie. Okay? I want to get that out of the way. I'm going to touch my mic again.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Got to bring it a little closer to me. So it was great. Yeah. A lot of people had issues with there was a lot going on.
This is a very divisive movie. Surprisingly divisive, I would say.
The first thing I saw coming out of it was people saying that The Force Awakens was too similar to A New Hope, and
Yes.
this one is too different now. All of a sudden,
Yes.
I don't think The Force Awakens is too similar to. I see the parallels. But I think it's a problem.
Because I think The Force Awakens used any parallels that there were in order to reintroduce Star Wars into not only a new generation of fans, but reintroduce it to the old generation who may have been, disillusioned or, disenfranchised with the series after, all the prequels and nonsense went on.
I also rewatched The Force Awakens, which I never do. I don't have any.
Wendy's girl with the $2 Canadian super chat. Luke Phasma, Snoke die, BB-8 hijinks, and asshole.
Oh, you just spoiled everything.
Yeah.
Well, this was a spoiler cast.
Yep.
So
also, we'll get to one of your things in a second.
Yeah, we're gonna get to all of this.
Yeah.
So I rewatched The Force Awakens. It's a very good movie.
Yes.
I really liked that when it came out. I think I was harsh on it, just like I'm gonna be harsh on this. But again, I think it's a really good movie.
Yes.
I didn't think The Force Awakens was. I don't think it's too similar to A New Hope. I think it's similar enough.
Yeah, I think
I also don't think this movie was too different.
No, I think it just does new things.
Yeah.
That people probably weren't expecting. It takes characters in different directions. It doesn't. Not that it doesn't answer some of the questions from The Force Awakens, but the questions that it does answer aren't answered in the way you think they're going to be answered.
Right.
So
I just think that's the thing. I think most people's problem with this movie, or the people who had a problem, is that they were disappointed that it didn't live up to their expectation, which was their crazy fan theory. Yeah. And that's my problem with Luke, and it's the same problem that I had with The Force Awakens. I came into it expecting there to be some Luke badassery, and I was disappointed.
Well, you kind of get it, but you get it
almost. And I was when it was going on at the end, when Luke was on screen being badass, I was like, finally, he's getting the redemption he deserves.
Well,
and then he wasn't there.
Well, to me, I found that to be badass. I found that to be badass in a different way. Because while he was there, I was like, something's not right. I'm like, because he looks different. He's got a different lightsaber. Something's not right here. And then when the reveal happens, and I was in theaters like, oh, like it just made perfect sense.
I would have much rather him have been there, wrecking house. How much cooler would it have been if he comes out there, or how? This was my shower thought this morning. Let me armchair direct for a minute. Imagine earlier in the movie he does that. He does he shows up somewhere and Kylo Ren's like, you're not really here, and then later on at that scene, Kylo Ren goes, he's not really there. Keep advancing and shooting.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, no, he is there, and he fucks up one of the AT-ATs.
Well,
that would be, and then he has to fight Kylo Ren, and then he goes out like Obi-Wan. I know it would be too. People would be, it's too much. I think him going out like Obi-Wan would be
Here's the thing.
Awesome.
I was listening to the Weekly Planet podcast before I was on my way over here, and they were talking about the movie, and they brought up a good point. Rey kicks his ass at one point. Yeah, Rey kicks Luke's ass. So if he couldn't hold his own against Rey in like a simple fight,
Kylo Ren can't hold his own against Rey.
Exactly. So if Luke can't hold his own against Rey, and Kylo Ren can't hold his own against Rey, but Kylo Ren is stronger, is more of a match for Rey, then what a chance would Luke have?
I think he would. That's what I'm saying, is that Luke. Well, that's I don't like Luke's arc at all. Like, to begin with, I don't like it was exactly what I feared would happen with Luke. He goes, "No, I don't want anything to do with this. I've been in seclusion. I don't want anything to do with the Force." That was the worst case scenario for me for Luke. I did not want that arc at all for him.
I sort of expected that he was like in hiding for a reason. He doesn't want to be a part of any of this. And I think I love that aspect of it. I think it worked. I think Mark Hamill played it well. I think it was written well. I think that was, it wasn't expected of the character, but it made sense for the character.
I don't think it made sense. I think it made him look like a huge bitch. And you got Obi-Wan, who did the same thing on Tatooine.
No.
For episode 4. Well, he was in seclusion, but he didn't look like a bitch because when the time came, he was like, "All right, I'm ready. Let's do this." And Luke wasn't. And that really disappointed me.
Well, no, because what happened, Obi-Wan went into seclusion. He went into seclusion with the sole purpose of looking over
Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah, he didn't abandon his post.
Luke became so frightened and disillusioned with like the Jedi Order and the way things go that he felt for the best interest of not only himself but for the galaxy, really, it's best for him to just go off somewhere and let the Jedi Order end and let it end with him, so that any problems that may arise from there being a Jedi Order don't happen.
I get that, but like Luke isn't the type of character that I see Luke from what I've seen in the current canon, is that he's not the type of person to abandon his friends, and if he can help, he's going to help,
Right, but he failed. He ultimately failed.
I know, and this is what other people were telling me this morning, that he failed and he felt bad for it, and I understand that's the crux of why he is where he is. He feels like a huge failure, but like
well, the whole movie is about confronting failure, really, when you think about it, because like every character at some point in the movie fails, and it's about confronting it and how they confront it that ultimately shows. I mean, in the end, Luke confronts his failure, and he confronts it in a way that it might not save the day in a traditional sense, but it does just enough to help the Resistance move on and start again.
Yeah.
So
I like the changes that they made to the Force.
Yes.
I like a lot of the things that some people are weary about. The whole metachlorians aren't a thing anymore. I think that's great.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Fine.
I think that's fine.
I remember
because
so part of it is like, do we know that Rey's parents are? Maybe Kylo Ren's lying about Rey's parents. We don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's not lying.
No,
I think they're actually just random people.
Yeah.
And I remember Daisy Ridley in some interview, she was saying like, no, anybody could be a Force user. Anybody, it's fine. As long as you have.
Which makes sense, because if you think about it, if the Force is passed on through bloodline, okay, but Jedis aren't allowed to get married and have kids, or at least they weren't during the original Republic.
Right. That's true. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so how would they have new Force users? How could there be all these new Force users?
Maybe that's why they were dwindling.
Yeah.
That's why everybody was turning to the dark side, because there was only Sith around, because they were allowed to bone.
Yeah. But no, I think all those new stuff they added to the Force is great, and it all makes sense.
I'm also totally cool with them getting rid of the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
And I like how Kylo Ren killed Snoke.
Yes.
I like that. I like how there is no Emperor.
Yeah.
Because the Emperor in the original trilogy is kind of a waste.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, we don't learn who Snoke is in the movie."
Yeah,
I'm like, it's
the
not
Emperor
really important.
wasn't anybody either in the original trilogy.
Exactly, and you
didn't find out till afterwards that he was
who
a thing.
Snoke was never really a central mystery to the Force Awakens either.
Yeah,
so that's not really a big deal. Like, you're gonna find out who Snoke is in a book, just like how you found out who Boba Fett was in a book.
People got it in their heads that Snoke was somebody.
Yeah.
It was fan theories that did it. The movie didn't owe you a Snoke theory.
Exactly. I mean, it's sort of the same thing with the Rey's parents theories, although they kind of promised you an answer to that, but at the same time, the theories that were passing around on the internet were way out there.
I was kind of okay with them playing around with our feelings on the Rey's parents.
Yeah, I like that, because nothing they would have said would have pleased anybody.
Yeah, it's true.
Like it was gonna make it was definitely gonna make somebody mad. And if she was connected to somebody, that just makes the universe that much smaller.
Yeah.
And like, granted, the Star Wars universe is surprisingly small as it is because everybody's connected to everybody. But by doing this, it just opens up the floodgates.
Yeah.
So
I'm cool with many of the changes that they made.
yeah.
My biggest problem is just the portrayal of Luke, because it just changed the way I see Luke, who I saw him as like a god figure. He was like the most badass person in the world, and any nick in his armor is gonna ruin him for me. So that was just inevitable. But I think they could have done it at least a little bit differently. Another major problem I have with the movie, all of Canto Bight. I think that entire plot. I've seen other people who had a problem with Finn and Rose altogether.
Yeah.
Take out them from the movie altogether. I don't agree. I think they were fine.
Yeah, I think they work well together.
I think Canto Bight, that whole part, it slowed down, got really boring. When they got to Canto Bight, there was a shot that reminded me of when they got to Mos Eisley in the remaster.
Oh yeah,
where it was all CG garbage.
Yeah,
and it was just a really drawn out shot of all the crazy characters and stuff. It reminded me a lot of the prequels, and I wasn't having it.
Here's the thing about that. My one criticism of the movie is that it is very long. Like, it feels long.
Yeah,
it is the longest Star Wars movie they've made.
There's just a lot in it.
Yeah, and the majority of that does come from the Canto Bight segments.
Yes,
I do feel like they could have trimmed a lot out of that or rearranged some things on it. However, I don't think they should have excised it completely, because I think the overall message that it was trying to tell about Canto Bight and about this high society of the Star Wars universe, and how they're there to profit off of war, and how there's always going to be a war because of people like them, and how they keep other people down, like Rose and like those orphan kids and things like that, I think was a good idea and a good message to have in a Star Wars movie. I mean, it went on for too long, I agree, but I think, especially with regards to how it pays off at the end, I think it was important to have that.
I think that it draws a lot of parallels to the prequels, because this is very bougie.
Yeah,
we haven't seen anything like this post Episode 4 at all.
Yeah,
the only thing the only people that we see that are well off are the Empire.
Yeah,
and Jabba the Hutt.
Yes,
and this isn't very Jabba the Hutt.
No,
Jabba the Hutt is rich and boozy in a way that he's
like a scummy way,
in
like
a scummy way.
He's more like, underground mafia type.
And that's when I think of like war criminals and people who are profiting off of war in the Star Wars universe. That's what I think of, and this makes it too like clean, and it makes the mucky, gruesome Star Wars universe that I really like. Yeah, it makes it a little too clean and polished.
Well, I mean, it would make sense that there would be this extreme opposite to, like, the grimy look of Star Wars that we're used to, and we do know that exists from the prequels. Especially with like Coruscant.
I was totally cool with The Force Awakens just ignoring the prequels altogether.
Okay. They do, but they don't, because Kylo Ren does say, like, maybe if we use clones as our stormtroopers.
Well,
Luke calls the Emperor Darth Sidious. He calls him that, and I don't think they call him Darth Sidious at all in the prequels.
Right.
So, like, they are acknowledging it, but they're
the Clone Wars was a thing in Episode 4.
Right. But they're acknowledging also the failures of it by essentially removing midichlorians, by Luke telling the story of how Darth Sidious was able to rise.
I'm not saying it drew to. I'm fine. They did remove themselves a lot, but I just think that Canto Bight was a little too leaning. I just think that whole thing was didn't fit, and it should have been removed. or maybe a quick cut, like you said, trim out the fat.
like because they probably could have gotten rid of the chase through the streets.
Yeah.
They probably could have, had them, spend less time with like the crash landing and then looking. They could have cleaned that up a little bit.
$10 from Ramiro.
Oh, thank you.
He says, here's $10 because I don't give a damn about Star Wars, but you guys are still cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Windex Fighter 77. Also, DJ, Benicio del Toro's character. I hated him. I think he shouldn't have been there either.
I liked him. I feel like he was ultimately extraneous. And you didn't need somebody of Benicio del Toro's caliber to play that role. Like, you wasted Benicio.
Also, I was just thinking about this morning. They were looking for the code breaker, the master code breaker, and only he could do this job. You need this guy. You got to go all the way to this place that you're not supposed to be to get this one guy, and they got somebody else.
Well, that ties
some random guy.
That ties into the whole failure aspect of it. They failed to get the guy they needed, so they'll go with this guy, but that also leads to failure. Right. It's just this whole cycle of failure.
I think the best story arc was Poe Dameron's.
Yes.
I think Poe Dameron, his story arc was amazing.
Yeah, that was really good.
Everything that happened with him with Leia and the purple-haired girl. Holdo. All of that was all, and I a lot of people didn't like Holdo. I really liked that character because you hated her, and I'm like, she sucks. I hate this character.
But like as things go on, you start to realize, and everything clicks.
Yeah,
that's what's great about the movie is like you look at one thing and you think it's one thing, then slowly over the course of it, things start to click, and when it clicks, it makes sense, and it's beautiful, and it's unique, and it's still Star Wars in the long run.
She had a really good. There was a lot of badass parts of this movie.
Yes.
Like a lot. Like the most.
She probably had the most badass part.
This movie had the biggest collection of badassery in a Star Wars movie, like combined, next to Rogue One, I would say.
Yeah.
And she had the most badass part. That was that was an anime sequence where she where she hyperdrived right through the whatever the hell the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the name of that thing.
And sliced it right in half. That was a beautiful sequence. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. And I think it had a great lightsaber duel with Kylo, Rey, and all of the Sith people all the guards. All the guards that we all thought were going to be completely useless again in this movie. Because the toys came out, and I think it was Harley Morenstein who was like, if history has taught me anything, it's that these guys are so cool that they're going to do nothing in the movie.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a Star Wars movie, the Sith guards do something.
Yes.
And it was awesome. That sequence was awesome. Somebody said something. Viper says, R.E. Canto Bite, is there some clause in every Star Wars film that you need a chase scene? Yes. I think it's every adventure film.
Yeah, for the most part.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole movie was a chase.
Yeah.
It was very slow.
Very slow chase, yeah. I've heard a lot of people compare it to like the first few episodes of the 2002 Battlestar Galactica series. And I sort of see that because the first few episodes of that was literally them running away from the robots, and that got sort of echoed here. So I appreciate that.
I think it was just the Hoth battle. It just they put the battle at the end.
Yeah,
but also in the Hoth battle they saw the Empire coming, so they were escaping.
Yeah,
and then they just made it before the Empire got there. In this case, they get there and they chase them. They go along with them.
Yeah.
So everybody got out, but they followed them.
Right.
And it's just the Hoth battle that just never ends.
Yeah.
For the whole movie. And I was cool with that. A lot of people also had a problem with there wasn't enough Rey and Kylo Ren and whatever.
I think there was a fairly enough of them. Yeah.
I don't like there being too much lightsaber Jedi stuff in a Star Wars in a main Star
you mean
Wars
like
movie.
that?
Yeah. I like there being the focus on Poe and even Finn. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm surprised like a lot of people just don't like Finn.
Yeah,
like as a character, which I don't get.
I like him, and I like the him and Rose arc. I thought that was all good except for Canto Bite.
Yeah,
everything else was fine. So, but I mean, I could see why people would want that whole thing removed from the movie because there was a lot in the movie, and that was probably a big problem with it, but I think that it could have been saved.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with the movie was Luke's arc, and that's really it. I also, a lot of people have, and I have an issue with Leia's little Mary Poppins Superman business.
Okay. Okay, here's the thing. I think that was one of the coolest moments in the movie.
Wow.
It probably could have been animated differently because it's obviously a CGI moment.
Yes.
Obviously. But the whole idea of Leia using the Force to save herself from floating adrift in space is just awesome. And it makes all the sense in the world.
I don't have a problem with it. I think it's good, and I think it's because she does have the Force, and we know that from episode 5.
Yes,
we know that she has the Force because she talks to Luke. So she's at least a subtle Force user.
Yeah,
her using the Force to drift a little bit, totally cool. I'm cool with that. I think that it looked cheesy as hell.
Yeah,
I think it should have been way more subtle. Like she's floating out and then gives herself a little nudge and then she goes back in.
No, I don't think the subtle.
Instead, she like flew like freaking Superman, and that was a problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. If she was just like, well, I mean, there's like you stick your hand out to drag something to you. It only makes sense that you would stick your hand out to drag yourself towards something. Yeah. So obviously she's just gonna stick her hand out. But you know, I get it. Maybe she was just like floating and she just did like a subtle like this.
Yeah, yeah, a little twitch of the hand, and then all of a sudden she changes course.
Yeah,
you know? Like that's
I see that.
That's all we need.
But you know, ultimately, like at the end of the day, how it looked doesn't supersede the fact that it was just one of the best moments in the movie.
Yeah.
So
again, I'm cool with the moment.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it happening. I wasn't cool with the way it looked, and I think it should have been more subtle.
Right.
I think this is my last issue with the movie. Yoda. I saw Yoda and I was like, nice. Okay, please shut up now. Yoda, I didn't like him talking. I think that should have been another subtle thing. Like okay, you're here to guide Luke. Well, do your business and then get the hell out.
Before we went to see the movie, my wife asked us if there's anything I want to be in the movie, and I said, this is not going to be in the movie, but I think it would be really cool if they're on Atch 2 and they're like meditating or whatever, and all of a sudden you see the Force ghost of Yoda, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, and you start to see all these Force ghosts pop up to show Rey the light. And all of a sudden you see Yoda Force ghosts, and I'm like, oh my god! And he's a puppet.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's even cooler. That seemed to not bother me at all. Like nothing about that bothered me.
I didn't like Yoda
because that was, I had the IMDb quotes up, and Yoda says something like "failure is our greatest teacher" or something. Because like
I liked that. That was good. I think that's another thing that should have been just a little
just
shorter.
Trimmed.
Yeah, trimmed out and like, you know.
Apparently they trimmed like half an hour worth of material from this movie.
Yeah, I mean they always do.
Yeah, but like they cut out like, you know how Luke says that he's going to teach Rey 3 things, and we only see him teach her 2.
I didn't put that. I didn't do the math.
They cut the 3rd thing he teaches her because A, there was a joke in it that just didn't work, and B, it made Luke look like an asshole.
Well, then I'm glad they cut it out.
So
Tevia asks, why don't you like Yoda talking? I just think that it didn't fit what was happening. It was such a dire moment, and Yoda was being his he was doing his like hideaway act. He was doing his
when he was like little happy go lucky. Yeah,
he was doing that voice in such like a dire circumstance, you know? Like obviously Luke is in peril right now and everything's going to hell and he's being an asshole. Like I just wasn't into that.
Yeah.
Also, where the hell was Obi-Wan? I think that was a perfect opportunity for
you. Because Ryan Johnson was doing a whole bunch of interviews talking about the movie. The thing he said was they thought about it, but that would mean having to get Ewan McGregor, but that wouldn't make sense because Luke never met the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
He only met the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi. So unless they can like figure out a way to do that,
Meeting them doesn't matter because of the. Well, I guess they're trying to get rid of the remasters because Hayden Christensen was replaced with
right? Because according to myth, when you become a Force, your appearance as a Force ghost is based on when you died as a Jedi.
Right.
So Obi-Wan Kenobi died as a Jedi, looking like Alec Guinness. Anakin Skywalker died as a Jedi, looking like Hayden Christensen.
I think they should have just made him look like Alec Guinness.
I mean, yeah,
I think that would have been fun.
I'm sure they could have,
because that would have been if they had Yoda do his little thing for like 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden he goes into the flames, and out comes
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That would be big. Or maybe save it for the next movie.
Yeah,
I have no doubts that the next movie is going to be incredible.
Yes,
it's going to be. I think it will be better than this, or I will like it better. Than this.
I don't know,
because I have a lot of faith in J.J. Abrams because The Force Awakens was really good.
Yes.
I want to read some chat here. That's pretty much all the issues that I had with it. Overall, again, really freaking liked it. A little too much. A little too. A lot of my problems are that they held on to things too long. Like the Porgs, I get it. I get the Porgs. They're cool. Get off the Porgs. The same thing with the Crystal Foxes.
Well, the Crystal Foxes, that actually became a plot point.
I know, but did it have to be?
Yes.
Like, I get it. They're cool looking too.
Bob, this movie was filled with so many new Pokemon.
It was. There are people were asking where the third thing went. We just explained it.
Yeah.
LKM Cherokee. There's a freaking bug. LKM Cherokee. Bob, don't make me get Dr. Manhattan on your ass for slandering Yoda.
He's going to walk up in here naked and then just blow you up with his fingers.
Atten says, isn't the next movie the Han Solo movie? Yes, I was ignoring that.
Which comes out in May.
Still?
Yes.
They pushed that.
Nope. That movie is somehow still coming out in May.
I don't have a lot of faith in that movie. I don't want there to be a bad Star Wars movie.
I know.
On a really good run.
We are on a very good run.
I would say this movie is.
We got 3 great Star Wars movies in 3 years.
This is a great Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I don't understand people like I'm a fan who is pretty negative on it, but again, it was a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
If I had to put a rating on it, I would say 8.5 out of 10. I know you probably like it a lot more than that.
I'd probably give it a 9.
But that's where that's not too far.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Or maybe like 8.7 if we.
Because here's the thing, I would give The Force Awakens a 10. The Force Awakens might be my favorite Star Wars movie, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
I might, including the originals.
Yes.
Wow. I still have to watch Jedi. I'm gonna watch it soon.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I've seen Jedi. But I just want to rewatch it. With all of this in mind. But Rogue One is up there for at least top 3 for me.
See, my problem is I always lump the Star Wars movies together in trilogies as one movie.
Right.
So like the original trilogy to me is one movie.
Okay.
And then the prequel trilogy is one movie, and this trilogy wraps up is going to be one movie. So obviously it's going to be, the Ridge Tridge at the top. Then
I like that.
Then this trilogy right here, the sequel trilogy, then Rogue One, and then the prequels.
Really? The Rogue One is that low?
Well, it's number 3.
Yeah.
When
Well,
you look
if
at
you
it
lump
that.
in the trilogies, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm going
right,
to individualize it, I mean, I really can't individualize the Ridge Tridge, though.
It's very tough because you need the original Star Wars. You need Episode 4. That's a very important movie.
Yes.
And Empire and Jedi are very good.
Yes.
People are way too down on Jedi.
I do not understand why.
Yeah. So I rewatched Empire this year.
Yeah.
I don't watch them as often as I would like to. Empire is an amazing movie.
Yes.
I still think Return of the Jedi might be better. But only by a slight margin.
Yeah.
That's only because I love Luke in that movie.
Yeah.
He's the best.
I hate when people say, best Star Wars since Empire, completely forgetting about
Jedi.
Yeah.
What about Rogue One again? That
Yeah.
movie was amazing. So, best movie since Empire just completely negates the prequels.
Yeah.
But in doing so, you're completely forgetting about Return of the Jedi, which is it's only even if you like Empire so much more, Jedi is right underneath it.
Yeah.
Don't discredit it because it has Muppets.
Yeah.
Muppets are awesome.
Yeah.
Ashley says Empire was the best of the Origin-Tridge. I like this. Did you coin that?
No, I did not coin it. I saw
okay.
I saw it like a couple of years ago in a video, and then I heard it again recently. So I want to make that a thing when you talk about the original trilogy. It's Origin-Tridge.
Wendy's Ghost says, Bob, BB-8, you said you were going to say something about him earlier. I don't think we said we would get to that, meaning you said a lot of, you spoiled everything pretty much, and we said we would get to that
when BB-8
later.
took control of the ATS team.
We got to all of it except for that.
Yeah.
I thought that was
cool.
I didn't really
I
have
wanted to
anything
talk
say
about
it.
because he also mentioned his Phasma dying.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people had a problem with that. I didn't.
I don't think she's dead.
Yeah, that like right after the movie, somebody said, "Oh, Phasma died." I was like, that was ambiguous. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think she's dead. I remember. Reading,
I think she's Boba Fett. I don't think she's gonna be in the next movie.
I think she is.
You think she is?
I think she is. I read somewhere that somebody compared her to Kenny from South Park, which I think is perfect. So I think
pretty good
because
she should kill Finn. I think that'd be pretty cool. If all of a sudden she's like, "Look, I got it this time," and that would be really tragic.
I mean, she's not. I don't think she would kill Finn. I think she's gonna mess him up big time. But Finn would ultimately get the last laugh on that. Yeah, because Marvel just recently did a comic of how she escaped Starkiller Base, and it's really badass the way she does it. She does it in 6 minutes, and by the time
is the comic in 6 minutes?
The comic takes place within 6 minutes.
I gotta.
And then the next issue, it's like, how did they get into Starkiller Base? Who lowered the shields? And she's able to blame somebody else for it. He's like, that guy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would be a good video.
Yeah.
I think she's just the Boba Fett character, and that's why like everybody had a problem with she didn't do anything in The Force Awakens. Neither did Boba Fett.
Yeah.
In Empire, he didn't do anything. He just went, there they are.
Yeah. All
right, see you later. And in Return of the Jedi, he went out like
he did
a bitch.
even less. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for some reason, he's a badass. I think Phasma's the same way, and I think she looks like more of a badass in the movies.
Yeah. She actually fought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think she went out like a bitch. I thought she went out great.
Yeah.
Did they replace her with a stormtrooper in the trailer?
No.
She was fighting with the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember it being her.
Yeah, no, that was her.
Oh, well, never mind. Tommy Rojas says, Bob, stop. You're hyping the next disaster. Did you not like this one? I want everybody in the chat to do a Y or an N, whether or not you liked it or you didn't like it.
Yeah.
So Y, yes, and
no.
I want to see how much we got here. Prom Dates says, you only see her fall, you don't see her die. It's possible she survives. Yeah, she just falls through the
falls into the fire, and I'm pretty sure her armor is fireproof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's death proof.
Yeah.
I hope that her armor's all screwed up in the next one.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I thought that was really cool where she's like missing a part and you can see her eye. It kind of reminded me of Shredder. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I got the same feeling. What was I gonna say?
We're getting a lot. We got a U. Prom dates. Why did you write a U?
Oh, you're getting them more than me. Yeah, everybody liked it. Again, I really liked it. I just I just have some criticisms, which is fine.
Which is valid.
Yeah, I think the next one's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm completely ignoring Han Solo. I don't know how that's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared for it, but again, Rogue One was amazing. So
yeah. So who knows?
Who knows? And do you think they're gonna do an Obi-Wan one?
I hope so. That's the only like spin-off, like seeing what a established character did at a certain point in time. That's the only one I'm actually interested in. So
Caloric says she did. So most people liked it.
Yes. I think most people liked it. I think all the negative criticisms it's getting is mostly just like the vocal minority. And I'm pretty sure the low review on Rotten Tomatoes, because it doesn't have that low of a review on like IMDb or anything like that. I think it just got review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think people are creating bots to go and review bomb it.
I think it's the fans who had their fan theories proven wrong.
Yeah,
and they were upset about it. I think that's what, because this surprised everybody. It took a different turn.
Yeah,
but I think it was still in universe.
Absolutely.
And again, my problems are similar to the whacked out fans, because I'm a whacked out fan. I had expectations that it went a little bit south of, but a lot of things. But it also did some things that I wasn't expecting that was really cool.
Yeah,
and it did that more than it did change things. It changed things for the better more than it changed things for the worse, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not sure about. I'm also skeptical of an Obi-Wan movie because I don't want them to touch too much on any of the stuff that I like already.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, it's 19 years in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So there's a lot of, like, space there for you to play around in. You know, it's not going to, like, touch. It's, you know, they can do it in a spot where it's not going to touch either trilogy.
The world that Rogue One set up, because that was the earliest we've seen for a good movie. You know what I mean? Like, that was before Episode 4.
Yeah.
And it felt really good.
Yeah.
And they need to pull that same atmosphere off for an Obi-Wan movie. I don't want it to even touch anywhere near the prequels. You know? That'd be skewing it way too far.
I feel like if they do it at a certain point, it's going to be like, you'll see there'll be like prequel elements, like this statue over here that you guys actually on camera. He's got like his Clone Wars armor, and he's got like prequel things on him. But like throughout the course of the movie, like you'll just see it like fade away and like fall off.
Yeah,
and he'll lose it in the desert.
We also saw that symbol. You know, it has the shoulder pad. That symbol.
That's the Old Republic. No, that's the Old Jedi Order symbol.
Oh, the Old Jedi Order symbol. Well, that was in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, that's the Jedi Order symbol.
Yeah, that was really. I thought that was cool. Tevia says, "What about Snoke getting killed off?" We talked about it a little bit before.
A little bit.
I'm cool with it. With that.
Yeah, I thought you know, it's a great surprise. It was because it establishes Kylo Ren as the big bad of the series now.
Yeah, it's different than Vader, and I'm cool with that.
Like, we want that.
And again, the Emperor didn't do anything in the original trilogy. He was just like an overseer for no reason, pretty much. And Snoke was the same. And
this is the last bit. You want to?
No, you can. Yeah. The Emperor kind of went out like a bitch too. Vader picked him up, and threw him. That's it. He's dead now. So Snoke, people's criticism with that was that Snoke is supposed to be so powerful with the Force, he didn't see that Kylo Ren was doing it.
Right.
Was using the Force against him. But I mean, the Emperor was a bitch too. The Emperor could have done the same thing.
About like Snoke is he's so blind in his own like abilities that he can't see.
Also, I think he was just full of crap when he said like, "Oh, I'm the one who connected you two." I think he was just lying because they connected each other after he died.
Well, no, I buy that, but when they connected to each other after he died, I think Snoke just left the door open.
Okay.
And then when Rey closed the bridge, she closed the door.
I think he was like a small influence. You know what I mean? Like, I think that he was just trying to control Kylo Ren. Yeah. I think Snoke is a powerful dude, but I think that he was just manipulating Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
And Kylo Ren was finally like, you know what? I don't need this. Because look at Hux. Hux is over here dealing with the two of these guys because he just needs an authority figure. You know, he's got some sick, like, sort of sadism.
Yeah. I love Hux. I don't care. Like, if people who are down on Hux is like, this movie treats him like an idiot, I don't care. I think Hux is a great character.
Hux is good.
I
like their dynamic.
I like him because after The Force Awakens, I theorized that they are two jaded Star Wars fans, and Kylo Ren was one who's willing to acknowledge that the prequels existed, whereas Hux will not talk about them.
I like how Hux is he's just a regular dude stuck in this world with all these Sith, and he just does not want to deal with them. He's like, I'm not afraid of this.
Yeah.
I'm running an army.
Yeah.
You guys
I don't have time for this crap.
You all whiny.
Yeah.
Let's just get this stuff done.
Yeah.
And then he just gets thrown into the wall.
Yeah.
Pacini, our friend Pacini, was saying that the best character in the movie was the AT-AT pilot guy.
Oh,
The
yeah.
guy driving it when Kylo Ren's like, "Get me down there," and Huck's just like, "You can't go down there. We're doing." And he just gets thrown, and the guy driving is like, "Right away, sir." He just sends him to the elevator.
Yeah.
That's a big donation there.
Oh, really?
Emerald with the $1. He said he did twos. He did $1 and $1.34. If Finn died anyway when Rose, I don't know which one's first. Okay, that one's first. If Finn died anyway when Rose crashed into him to save him, I don't know if I would have laughed or cried. Also, if you watched the development process for the Ice Foxes, you might have appreciated them more. I did see that.
Yeah.
I appreciated them being there. I just think they harped on them too more. He also said, missed my last donation. I kind of wish Kylo did have a redemption arc, but also I'm glad he didn't. Also, what if Finn died when Rose crashed into him in attempt? Oh, that's the same thing.
Here's the thing. A lot of people were saying, like, Finn should have died. He should have sacrificed himself. One of my friends said he would have had a better arc if he died. I completely disagree.
He did that in the first movie.
Yeah.
He sacrificed himself in the first movie.
I don't think him dying, it wouldn't have changed his arc one way or the other. All it would have done was cut it short.
Yeah.
If he sacrificed himself to take out the battering ram in this movie, nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
Everything would have still proceeded as normal. Luke would have still showed up. He would have still created a distraction to help the Resistance escape. Kylo Ren would have still fired on everything with all that. All of that still would have taken place.
Yeah.
All it would have done was Finn's whole arc so far has been trying to run away from the First Order.
Mm-hmm.
And all dying at the end of The Last Jedi would have done was he would have run away from the First Order by killing himself.
Yeah.
By Rose saving him, it now gives him something to fight for and basically give him a reason to face his problems, to confront them instead of trying to hide from them.
I liked this whole narrative of, in this movie, you see a lot people trying to be overly badass, people just being over the top, like, I'm gonna save it, and I know I have the odds are against me, but I'm gonna do it, because that's a trope in Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're against all odds, we're gonna pull out. And in this movie, against all odds, people are like, no,
yeah,
it's not gonna work. And it didn't, over and over again.
Yeah.
People were proven wrong. So that makes it even more special when people are against all odds and it works.
Yes.
So I like that. And it's the same thing with Finn. Like, he was trying to sacrifice himself to save everybody. And this movie told Finn, hey, we don't need to do that all the time.
Yeah.
We can still make it out without you having to sacrifice yourself. And Poe Dameron was the crux of that whole narrative, being like, hey, less casualties. We don't have to be so reckless, and we can,
because he learned that the hard way from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that opening was incredible.
Yes,
with him, just being a badass, flying around doing his thing. And then throughout the movie, he was like, oh, you know what, I should relax and try to be smart. And that is what led to Finn being saved at the very end. Yeah, not Poe had nothing to do with that, but that's the direction,
mentality. Yeah,
that's the direction the movie was going. Yeah, and I really liked that. Post prom dates, I feel like Kylo's role is just the guy who wants the current situation to just end, so his job is to end it and try to start over. Just let it die. Yeah, I'm cool with Kylo Ren and Rey both of just straying from the Sith and the Jedi Order. They're just starting their own thing. I'm totally cool with that. I'm excited to see where Kylo Ren.
Well, Kylo Ren is a part of the Knights of Ren,
right?
And we saw them briefly in The Force Awakens. We didn't see them at all in this movie.
Did you see Max Scoville's article? He just posted an article on IGN about the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
And I only read a bit of the concept art. I mean, the costumes of the Knights of Ren look incredible. he says like we saw them briefly, but we don't know if that was a flashback or a flash forward.
Right.
And I think it was a flashback.
Yeah.
But it'd be really cool if all of the Knights of Ren are in the next movie.
Yeah.
That would be
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. Because if Abrams is coming back and he created the Knights of Ren, then...
He did destroy his helmet, though.
I think we're going to get the helmet back.
Yeah?
Because...
I think it might be different.
Yeah, it might be different. Because I've been thinking about it. I have these little sandwich bags with Star Wars characters on it.
Yep.
But it's Kylo Ren, Stormtroopers, Chewbacca, BB-8. It's all characters without a face. It's like not a human face.
Yeah.
So I feel like they would want to bring the mask back purely for marketing reasons. This way they have like an iconic character that they can continue to market.
That's why I think it might be different. I think they need a mask.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Although I don't know, because the whole thing about letting the past die. Maybe he doesn't want to, because he wore the mask to try and be like Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's why he destroyed it, because he was like,
I don't want to be Darth Vader anymore. Yeah,
but that's why I think it's going to be just a different mask, because it is really, that mask was really cool, and they can make another cool one.
Yeah,
and all of the Knights of Ren look awesome.
Yeah.
At the end of this, we will, when we get to the chat and the hashtag Wulff Den Live and everything, we will. If you got more Star Wars questions you want to, or comments you want to say about Star Wars, we can do that. But for now, you want to blow through some. We have like barely any stories for the week.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So again, if you have any more to say about Star Wars, we'll get to it in the chat later, or you can use the hashtag Wulff Den Live on Twitter. Do you have anything else to say? I think we hit like everything. It's been 50 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Last Jedi was great.
It was really good.
Yes, I will say it is. Like I said on Twitter, it is one of the best movies I've ever seen. So get your ass out there and see it. I'm going to bump my score up to a 10 because when I think about it, it's great Star Wars, and great Star Wars is a 10. So
Bernie Burns from Rooster Teeth keeps saying that people who didn't like it, when they see it a second time, they like it. I've only seen it once.
I have like a physical need to see this movie again.
Yeah. I am going to try to see it at the Man's Chinese Theater.
In California?
Yeah, I'm going in January.
Oh.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to California in January.
Badass over here.
We might have to do a remote Wulff Den.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm waiting to see it then because I don't want to see it too many times.
I'm going to try and see it again soon. But we got a $5 super chat and the sound didn't go off. There it is.
It's just late.
Kid Chade, what do you think about expanding the movie with more dangerous movies such as Darth Maul, General Grievous, or
even as far back
as in the lore as Raven, Darth Raven from Knights of the Republic?
Do you mean expanding the movies? Do you mean more dangerous movies, meaning like it's like a risk?
Like it focuses on the bad guys?
What I'm taking this as is it's more of a risk to include these because people don't like the prequels.
I'm taking it as dangerous because all the people he mentioned were villains.
Okay.
So I think he's talking about like getting a movie about like the villains and how they became evil and just showing how evil they possibly are.
One of the best things about Star Wars is that the bad guys are relatable.
Yeah.
And people like the bad. I think you posted a screenshot of the Star Wars Twitter doing a poll. Let's sell this once and for all, light side, dark side. Mm-hmm. It was 50-50 split, which is insane.
Yeah.
So I think that an all villain movie would be fun. It'd be very different.
It would be very different,
Star Wars,
yeah.
But it's also Disney now. I think this movie was more Disney than any of the Star Wars movies because anybody could be a Jedi. There was that whole thing with the kid.
Right.
That was very Disney.
But
I also hated the thing with the kid, and I didn't know everybody. I didn't hate it, but I thought it was. I was like, okay, this is happening, and I didn't know it was like a lot of people liked that.
Yeah,
that was like a huge thing for people.
Yeah,
I didn't feel a connection at all.
Yeah,
and you really liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was important. LKM Cherokee again with a $2 super chat asking me about the Oz effect. I haven't gotten to it.
He's
yet.
Never going to read the Oz effect. You keep giving him money.
I promise you, I'm going to read to it. This has been a very, very busy time of year. This stupid effing Christmas.
Well, do you know that Catherine is being remade for the PS4 and the Vita?
I did hear about that.
Now, Catherine is an incredible game. It's the weirdest game that I ended up I wasn't expecting to end up liking this game, and I don't know why I even played it, but it was very good. It's basically a puzzle game.
Yeah.
And it was for the Xbox 360 and PS3, and they were remaking it for the PS4 and the Vita. And here's the thing, Will, you played it, right?
Yes.
So it's a puzzle game slash it's kind of like a dating sim.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's an underlying story where you have two girlfriends pretty much, and they're both named Catherine, and they're both drastically different from each other.
Yeah.
In this, they're introducing a third Catherine.
Yeah.
And her name's not Catherine.
No.
After a bunch of teases and rumors, an expanded remake of Catherine has been officially announced. It's not in the sequel. It's not the sequel we wanted, but it sounds like a good reason to revisit the original game. There are some major changes being introduced, including a third Catherine.
Her name is Rin.
Yes, Catherine Full Body has been announced with a new website in Japanese, which is currently promising a broadcast on December 22nd. Oh, so in 2 days. With more details, the game is being developed by Studio Zero. Okay, I don't care. I want to see. The third Catherine is not actually a Catherine at all. Her name is Rin, and she's a pianist at protagonist Vincent's favorite bar. That's every time you do one of the puzzles or you play a level, afterwards you go to the bar with your friends and you talk to them about your girlfriend troubles and whatnot. And that's like the hub world kind of.
Yeah.
She'll introduce new story elements, apparently, and she's described as, quote, a very straightforward and gentle character, which is interesting since Catherine is most certainly not a gentle character. Neither of them are gentle characters. Yeah. Neither of the Catherines.
Fred with the $2 super chat, going to read the odds effect like he's going to read One Piece.
We have packages to open.
We do have packages to open. Do you want to just finish up Catherine real quick before?
I might play it on Vita.
I didn't like Catherine when I played it.
Really?
Yeah, no, I could.
I really liked it.
I could not get into it. I could not get into the puzzle aspect of it because I thought the controls were bad.
Really?
Yes. So unless they fixed it, then I'm probably not gonna play it.
I don't know why I liked it. It's
yeah,
such
you
a
were
weird,
like super into it.
It's such. I went through a breakup right before I
think that might have been it.
That had a lot to do with it, and I was super into the story, but I loved the levels. I don't know why.
The story wasn't bad, and I was kind of digging the whole bar aspect of it, but like the actual puzzle aspect, I'm like, I can't do this.
It was weird, but I don't know why I was into it. It's not a game that I would expect to ever want to play on an Xbox, but I was like totally down for it. It was also really hard.
Yeah.
It got really hard, but I don't know why I liked it so much. But I would recommend that game for sure. Let's
do the unboxing.
Let's open some stuff. Oh God, am I gonna hurt myself? Let's start with this because I don't know what it is. Give me a knife, please. Oh, it's right here.
Okay.
This is From Chocolate.
Is it chocolate?
The name on here says chocolate, and the address is something Sweet Road. We didn't ask for this.
No.
So I don't know what the hell this is. This is definitely chocolate. Oh, Screenwave.
Oh, nice.
It's our MCN. That is multi-channel network. They actually season's greetings. What does this say? I'm probably not supposed to open this on camera. We enjoyed our partnership this year and we enjoyed our partnership this year and the success the future holds. Hope you have a wonderful holiday season and prosperous new year. This is the most we've ever gotten from any MCN.
It's true.
It's just a bar of chocolate.
Hey, I'm okay with
Our
that.
warmest wishes for the new year. I didn't know you can order chocolate. Like this is if you're gonna send out Christmas cards, this is a damn good idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You gotta zoom in. It's very important.
Crap. Hold on. I'm zooming in. Oh.
That is really cool.
I do not want to eat that.
That is really cool.
Oh my God.
I have to take a picture of it. It's an NES controller.
Yeah.
It's a chocolate bar.
Here.
It says Screenwave. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
I gotta get the light. There you go. That is really cool. I gotta take a picture of that.
Yeah. Hurry up and take a picture because it's.
I want to do it in a way where I can like tweet it and be like, "Thanks, guys."
All right.
So it's got to be a nice picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom out.
Why don't you open the next thing while I?
All right, give me the next thing.
Here's a knife.
Okay.
This is from Fred. Even though it says
Fred.
GameStop.
Still zooming out. Hold on.
Let me take a picture with the phone.
I open this like an ass. This is Call of Duty World War II for the Xbox One.
Wow, that's for you. I have it on PlayStation.
Wow.
Interesting. Why?
Why?
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred. Requires that content download. Oh boy. Oh, you're doing a thing.
Yeah, let me do this first. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you.
Or, I can get it and then we can play together.
There you go.
He has it on Xbox. I think that's why.
Maybe that's why.
Well, you play it, beat it, and then give it to me, and then I'll.
I will. Well,
and then I'll play with him.
I'm trying to get through Wolfenstein right now.
The multiplayer is really good. I've been playing it on PS4, and it is really good. Where's the knife?
Oh, right here. Sorry.
It is really good.
Look, I'm sure.
I've been wrecking. I was wrecking house on it. I'd like to stream that one day.
Call of Duty games aren't bad per se.
I don't know if I want to open this on camera. This is the last box. Funny story about this. Yeah, I'll tell it.
Okay.
This was gonna be for a video. Mm-hmm. This company made a 4K Switch dock.
Okay.
Which they were like, "Hey, do you want to make a video on our 4K Switch dock?" And I was like, "Yes," because I don't believe you. I don't believe that it upscales to 4K.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. 4K 60 they were promising. Then they sent it without telling me.
Okay.
And then they said, "Hey, there's a little bit of miscommunication. It's not actually 4K. It's only 1080p 60. There's a miscommunication between our marketing department and our technology department." And I said, "Okay, well, if that's the case, I'm not gonna make a video because that doesn't make for a good video."
Yeah.
They sent us two.
They sent us a card.
Here's the hub.
Damn, this old.
Yeah, look, it says up to 4K 60. But it's not. They said, when you make the video, could you please black out the part that's 4K 60?
This is the card they sent. It's a full trifold card.
Yeah, these are. All right, here you go, Will.
Oh, thank you.
I am going to try. They do say that it looks better than the regular dock. So I am going to try it, and you might see it in the video if it's good. If it's not, then I'm not going to put it in the video. But, thank you.
Here, you might want to read that.
Your video talking about the... Because I've been trashing Nintendo docks, so people are like, hey, I know you don't like Nintendo Switch docks. I think they're all bad, so why don't you try out ours? Ours is good. Probably save this one on Switch. We know you're going to love it as much as we loved it to produce it. Our customer service base, no, blah, blah. I'm
the knife?
I am personally enthused to work with you. Oh, okay. Well, that's something I'll read later.
This says it's has airflow.
That's important.
Yeah. Connect in any order that your heart desires. Plug in an HDMI cable and a USB-C power adapter. Turn the switch and the dock on. Turn on the switch and then dock it. If the video doesn't auto show up on the TV, then press the Switch Hub TV button for 2 seconds. Wait 3 seconds for a video to appear on the TV.
Is this stereotypical bite enough? Does that look like a...
Yes.
Okay. I took a bite out of the chocolate. So I can take another picture. Hope this is riveting for you guys.
All right, so this is just the dock. This doesn't come with a power cable. But this is it. It comes with a note.
Uh-oh. There's a lot of stipulations here.
Yeah.
Does it say 4K?
I don't think it does.
Oh, no, it doesn't. That's cool.
Want to try it? All right.
This is actually pretty damn well made.
Yeah. Super duper important.
Uh-oh.
Watch our short video to get started. Really watch it. It'll help you out. Also with benefits. There's a link to it. Free USB-C cable or 40% off your next Charge N Pro product?
It should come with one.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, I'll try it out and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything.
Yes.
everybody.
Thank you, anyone and everyone, especially you, Fred. You do
Yep.
not have to get us Call of Duty.
Nobody has to send us anything.
Yes.
But thank you. Obviously, our PO box is somewhere.
Yeah.
The only other thing I had to talk about was the Mara plus Rabbids director,
Yeah.
the guy who cried,
Mm-hmm.
the guy with the beard, the Ubisoft guy,
Yeah. Your best friend.
my best friend. He revealed that he once pitched a Wind Waker GBA port to Ubisoft.
I saw that. I thought it was an early screenshot for Minish Cap, which was the GBA game in that art style.
Right. He said, a long time ago, I guess it was the 2007, me and Fabio, whatever his name,
2003.
Spaghetti. What did I say?
2007.
Why did I say that?
I don't know.
Something's wrong with me. Me and Fabio, the artists who made the pixel art below, almost convinced our managing director to let us produce a demo for a GBA version of Wind Waker. Oh, so they didn't even pitch it yet. No luck that time, but it was running nicely. We were dreamers. Crying face emoji, then heart eyes emoji. Looks really cool.
Yeah.
But there's so much of this stuff that, that we would never see because it just never makes the light of day. And Nintendo probably didn't want this because Zelda's a very, a very sacred thing for them, and a port of a GBA port of a 3D game at the time. That's usually something we see for like Max Payne had one, Perfect Dark, and those types of games, and it's like
Zelda. The
portable ports are always B-rate.
The Zelda games are always their own thing. They're always another rung on the ladder. So if they're gonna re-release a game, they're gonna wait till it can be released on a system that can handle it. So
this would be good for a sequel.
Yeah,
I think it looks really cool.
Try some of this screen wave chocolate.
It's pretty good. Just regular chocolate.
Regular chocolate.
That's all the stories I had. Do you have anything?
I got two things.
Hit me with them. Slap me with them.
All right. One, Paramount Studios just set out release dates for a whole bunch of movies based on Hasbro properties. We're getting a new G.I. Joe film, March 27th, 2020.
Is it a reboot?
I have no idea.
Okay.
After that, Micronauts, also in 2020. And then Dungeons & Dragons in 2021. This is one of those announcements where films have release dates before almost anything else. There's no public word on scripts, directors, and only a few basic producers are attached at this point. We don't know if this G.I. Joe film will continue the franchise from the past two films or if it will be a reboot. What we do know is that last year, Paramount hired an insane roster of talent to foster some of these stories, and it seems likely that some of what happened there is why these films are now getting release dates. Maybe some of these writers will even move to working on more closely on those individual films. For Paramount and Hasbro set up a writer's room where all they do is try to create a Hasbro cinematic universe to rival Marvel.
Yeah, everybody wants to do this.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it.
No, they're not going to do it. As much as I like G.I. Joe, that's not going to do it. So, good luck. You're going to need it. Other story I had. I'm assuming you don't know who Jim Starlin is.
Sounds familiar.
You know who Thanos is.
Yes.
Jim Starlin created Thanos.
Oh, okay.
Jim Starlin no longer wants anything to do with Marvel.
Why? Because of that? Because of this?
Okay. Thanos creator Jim Starlin is parting ways with Marvel. The reason, a recent experience in which he says Marvel knowingly greenlit another comic book story whose plot was too similar to his upcoming Thanos trilogy of graphic novels.
Oh.
This week, it was reported that Starlin had been removed from his Thanos project after comments he made about the character's future in an interview with comicbookresources.com were somewhat misconstrued. In the interview, Starlin simply said that he understood that Marvel was planning on taking Thanos in a new direction in preparation for his appearance in Infinity War. However, in a lengthy Facebook post yesterday, Starlin further clarified why he was leaving Marvel. Specifically, Starlin explained, he had also floated the idea of working on one of the publisher's core Thanos titles, but was turned down. While he understands that Marvel may choose to work with other writers on certain titles, he believes that Marvel did him wrong by essentially letting another writer poach his story that was already in the production process. So basically, he was working on a Thanos project, and he had another idea in mind, and Marvel didn't want him to do it, but they're going to let some other creative team do almost the exact same thing.
Yeah.
With his character.
Yeah.
So
I can understand him being a little salty about that. And this has nothing to do with the movies.
Not necessarily, but Hollywood Reporter points out that Starlin has butted heads with Marvel in the past over his comic book creations. He spoke very openly about not being approached or paid by Marvel for Thanos' inclusion in the original Avengers movie, and the writer has said that his business deals with Warner Brothers for Batman vs. Superman have been remarkably more profitable than any he's had with Marvel Studios. So
sounds like a good reason for him to jump ship.
Jim Starlin created the character of KG Beast, who had a minor role in Batman vs. Superman. And he apparently got paid more money for that than he did for all the appearances of Thanos, Gamora, and Drax in the Marvel movies.
Damn.
So, yeah.
So, I don't blame him for wanting to leave. Sounds like he got the raw deal.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. Marvel is apparently very this isn't the first I've seen of this. Marvel is not great when it comes to creator stuff.
No,
like
they're
this.
not.
DC, for what it's worth, is a lot better. Like at the end of Justice League, the movie, in the credits, it says special thanks, and it just lists every single comic book creator who had any sort of hand, not in the making of the movie, but in the making of the elements that went into this movie. And they get compensated very well for what they do. I remember back in the day, Chuck Dixon got a very large check because the motorcycle Robin rides in Batman and Robin was created during his run on Robin the comic book.
Jeez.
So yeah,
I still haven't seen Justice League. I do
do
want to see it.
I mean, you probably nobody in theaters right now. You can probably
know.
go and matinee.
Watch a Star Wars.
Yep. So yeah, so that sucks. Looks very bad for Marvel. Especially if Thanos is going to be the villain of the next 2 Avengers movies.
Yeah, that sucks.
And that his creator is not happy with you.
Seems like Marvel has a history of people just stealing credit.
Yeah, it's in their DNA,
or not giving credit where it's due. Okay.
That's really all I got.
Okay.
I have something about how headline is just how Ubisoft's Avatar game will differ from The Division.
Nope.
But I knew there's nothing in that title that interests you in the slightest.
Nope. Ubisoft Avatar game will differ from The Division.
Yeah.
What? Why would I think that it would be similar to The Division? You know why? I know why. Because every Ubisoft game is the freaking same. That's why.
Yeah.
There's nothing in anybody's right mind that would be, oh, Avatar? Yeah, that'll be like The Division. That is something that should never come out of people's head.
Yeah.
But because Ubisoft always makes games that are just like The Division, or that are just like Watch Dogs or Ghost Recon or all those freaking games because it's the same freaking game, that's why people are like, Avatar, Ubisoft, The Division, it'll be The Division.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week! Tweet of the week! Tweet of the week!
It is by, of course, the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter. And it says, playtime is over.
I saw that.
The meme of the Shadow the Hedgehog cover, and both of his hands are petting 2 dogs. Also, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the new meme, Swole Kylo. Have you seen that?
Yes.
It's just... it's Kylo Ren with his shirt off looking jacked.
Yeah.
And it's always some sort of meme about him working out or something.
Yeah.
But they use a really low-res JPEG of Kylo Ren shirtless, and they stretch it so it looks like ridiculous.
Did you see the story about how somebody sent that picture to Tony Award-winning playwright Lin-Manuel Miranda by accident?
No.
Somebody just sent this text. They texted him that picture, and he was like, "Yeah, I think you got the wrong number."
That's amazing. Mr. Brockrock keeps saying this big news story about Magic Leap announcing their long-awaited AR device. What? I'm not a big AR guy.
Me neither.
Like when Pokemon Go came out, everybody's like, AR is going to be the next big thing. The AR in Pokemon Go, everybody turned it off.
Yeah, because it kills your battery.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a picture of this, but I have no idea what it really is.
I think, listen, VR
Mm-hmm.
didn't really work out.
That's been
everybody was
slow.
like, VR is the thing.
That's been very slow to catch on.
It didn't really work out.
Yeah.
People are saying it's something you gotta. It's gonna be you gotta go to it. It's gonna be at like resorts and stuff. This looks cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nice.
All right, so let's talk to you guys. Leave us.
Yeah.
Talk to you. Do your spiel.
All right, now is the time where we go into the chat of last week's Wulff Den Live and answer questions. If you left us a question there, we will also be on Twitter using the hashtag Wulff Den Live. If you asked us a question there, and while we're doing that, guys, start asking your questions in the chat right now. I'm gonna pull up last week's Wulff Den Live.
I always have to look at the date to make sure. Swan Stig, I heard that with the Fox/Disney deal, Disney now owns the rights to a Batman TV show. Not only parts of the 1960s and Gotham, but they may be able to make a new show. Discuss.
Okay. So he is referring to the fact that 20th Century Fox owns part of the Batman 66 show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they own Gotham. I think they just distribute it. I don't think they would ever make another now that Disney owns that, I don't think they're gonna make a Batman show without Warner Brothers coming in and being like, "Hey, no."
So is he thinking that they could do a Batman 66? Like they can own that style of Batman?
Well, I don't know, because Warner Brothers has been pushing that style of Batman through like their comics and their toys, and they've released all that. I think Warner Brothers did a lot to get the majority control of that show back. Whatever Fox owned of that, I don't think is enough for Disney to now come out and do their own thing.
Yeah, that seems like they don't have a lot of weight in legally. He also says, what lightsaber fight had the best fighting, and what was your favorite one? Mine are the big one in The Last Jedi and the throne room in Return of the Jedi. I think I agree with you completely. Best lightsaber fights.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think The Last Jedi definitely had some good ones. I like the one, the one at the end of The Force Awakens, because it was kind of like, it was very rough. It was like one person who thought he had a handle on lightsaber, and one person who had never used the lightsaber
That
before.
was really good. I'm not a big fan of Rey all of a sudden, like just knowing how to use the lightsaber, but I'm willing to cope.
Yeah, no, I think it was because it was just like the Force kind of like took over her in a way.
I read somewhere was like, I know this is fan service, but imagine if Rey put Anakin and Luke's lightsabers together and made a duel.
That would be funny, yeah.
And I was thinking she needs a staff lightsaber.
That makes the most sense.
She uses a staff, so if she had like a dual-ended lightsaber, that would fit her perfectly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now she can, because she doesn't have a lightsaber.
It's true.
Get ripped in half.
King Monahai, I really have nothing to say, but I want to assure you that I am okay. Okay. Augustin Soto says, I think this movie was a mix of 5 and 6. The next one needs to be a movie from scratch, like Rogue One.
I definitely did get a big Return of the Jedi vibe from a lot of scenes in this. So
I got a little bit of both. Yeah, no, I think he's right. J.J. Abrams needs to let go the original trilogy and come up with something that is as epic as I Am Your Father, but completely different. I think that I think he needs to be a little bit closer to not the same story of Star Wars, but the same feel. It needs to feel like the original trilogy.
This movie was The Last Jedi was about like establishing where Star Wars needs to go. It was about like letting go of the past, about trying to blaze your own trail. And I think now that Han Solo is dead, Luke Skywalker is dead, Carrie Fisher in IRL is no longer with us, now is the time to like move away from like the trappings of the original trilogy and start moving into a completely new direction. They kind of have to by necessity. So
I think that The Force Awakens and Rogue One did a really good job of feeling like the original trilogy.
yes,
And this movie, it did and it didn't. So it didn't do as good of a job, but it blazed its own trail. I think that Episode 9 needs to blaze its own trail, but feel like the original trilogy.
yeah,
So make the story go bonkers. Do whatever you got to do. We'll be fine. But I want it to feel like the original.
I'm sure because so far all the Disney Star Wars movies have felt like the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So
I would say the one that felt the least like the original trilogy is this one.
Right.
The Last Jedi.
But I think it felt just enough like it, and then to start to add the new things to it, they didn't feel out of place.
I think Rogue One was the most different story.
Yes,
it was
absolutely
different.
Yeah,
it was in a completely different direction, but somehow still felt so right.
Yes,
the world feel was the original trilogy, and that is what I want out of Episode 9.
Yeah,
I want that. I want it to be different, but have the same world feel. Gabriel, Bob, any news on the Switch's online services? Nope. I can't find any new information. I thought they would start in January. Next year. It's just ambiguous.
Yeah.
Now, so we have no idea. And the last hashtag, Wulff Den Live, Mason, what did you guys think of Rose kissing Finn? I personally don't like that it happened. It seems very unnecessary considering that he pretty much likes Rey. Secondly, any news or thoughts about the Switch's online service next year? I saw somebody else in the chat talking about Rose kissing Finn.
Yeah.
I think it's totally fine.
Yeah, it didn't bother me.
Do you think it's a race thing? People don't like it because it's a race thing?
Maybe.
Also, she's not, the most attractive, but...
She's the character, not necessarily.
No, but in real life she is.
Yeah, in real life she's a very pretty girl.
Yes. I think it's because she's dorky.
Yeah.
But I like that. I was cool with that.
That didn't bother me.
I think it also bothers people because, like he said, Finn and Rey was shaping out to be a thing.
I think people are just mad because they've been shipping Finn and Poe for the past 2 years.
Yes. I want Rey to be like Luke, completely celibate.
Yeah.
I want him to have. I want her to not have any love interests.
Yeah.
I want her to be totally focused on her on her goals.
Yes.
'Cause I like that about Star Wars, how it's not a love story.
Right. There's romance in it.
There is, but it's not the focus. There's not.
Yeah.
These people aren't romantically charged
Yeah.
like a lot of other superhero movies and stuff. I think that it's like Empire. In the very beginning, you see a Luke and Leia thing going on.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the movie, there's a Leia and Han thing. And that's what happened in this movie.
Right.
You had a Finn and Rey thing, and at the very end of the movie, there was a Finn and Rose thing. And we don't know where Finn's head is.
Yeah.
His mind isn't made up yet. But I'm totally cool with Rey being alone and Finn and Rose being a thing. I think that'd be fine.
I'm still holding that hope for Finn and Poe.
Because again, Rey I think needs to be like Luke. Be your own person. That's it for the hashtag.
All right, last week's Wulff Den Live, Flaming Blue Skull. I think a Cartoon Network cinematic universe, if done well, could be fantastic. Just think of live action Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo, Ed, Ed and Eddie, Kids Next Door, Foster's Home, as long as they don't Hollywood it up.
I don't want live action anything from that because it's Cartoon Network.
None of that sounds like a good idea, Flaming Blue Skull. I'm sorry. You were
I mean, they could do a universe that is through the TV shows.
Yeah.
There's some crossover through
They've
the TV
done some
shows.
video games like that.
Totally cool with that. But no live action, nothing out of that. I don't want any live action anything.
Trevor Grover. Wow, PUBG for Xbox looks like unacceptable trash. Also, a team of 5-year-olds wrote the Jurassic Park series.
PUBG on Xbox. I played it on Sunday. Really fun.
Yeah.
Looks terrible. Plays terribly. It is so hard to aim. It is every button it feels so wrong. You have to hold X to reload. Yeah. You have to hold it.
Okay.
Getting in and out of vehicles. There's a different button to get in that there is to get out.
Oh, that would just piss me off.
It's so weird, but it's so. We had a lot of fun streaming it. The archive is if you go to our main channel page and go with Bob, you'll see the archive. It was a lot of
So
fun.
what you're saying is you agree that it is a Game of the Year nominee?
Yes.
Wow.
I think that the problem is my opinion on that is unchanged. It sets a bad precedent, but it meant so much for the gaming world this year that it needed to be nominated. You miss Brooks saying congrats on finding that Mario cereal.
Oh, I did. Thank you, Brooks.
That was a joke because we didn't find it.
I know. Still looking.
Scott says, if you've never seen a baby used as a battery, you should watch this movie, The Matrix. The first one's pretty good.
Actually, yeah, no, that's true. They do use humans as batteries.
Not babies.
There's a baby.
You see a baby?
Yeah, you see a baby.
I don't remember seeing a baby.
The movie's like 20
But
years
you know,
old
they're like holding it and it's in a thing. We also don't even know if it's a battery. It just looks like it's a battery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Get out of here with that. Why is it? Oh, he screenshotted the hashtag Wulff Den.
Yeah. Fibro Stunna thumbnail art looks great, Bob. It was nice to see your process.
Oh, thank you very much.
Jason Booker, if you want to make more sense of Death Stranding, check up on Lovecraft stuff. Kojima working with Guillermo del Toro likely exposed him to Lovecraft themes, which this looks heavily inspired by, specifically the story Dagon. Are you familiar with the works of H.P. Lovecraft?
Only that he did Cthulhu.
Yeah, like I know him through other things.
Yeah.
Apparently he created the name Arkham. Arkham Asylum is derived from one of his stories.
Really?
Yes. And one of my favorite games, Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem, is just one big Lovecraft reference. The whole game. So, played that. The game's awesome.
Tommy Rojas says, "Will, bro, get on Wildstorm. It's awesome.
I want to. That's apparently supposed to be really good. But it's going to be 24 issues. So,
is it a DC series?
Yeah, it's called The Wildstorm. And it's all about rebooting the Wildstorm universe.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to read this whole Batman, Superman, Batman and Catwoman, Superman and Lois.
Oh yeah, I gotta catch up on that. That just looks.
I want to read that.
Oh my god, that looks so good.
So, spoilers. It looks, but you know, I haven't read it, so this is what interested me. Batman gets engaged to Catwoman.
Yes.
And he doesn't tell Clark, and Clark is really upset about that. And it looks like they go on like double dates. Yeah. And there's all this awkward like human hijinks.
Yeah.
It looks really good. I've only seen some clips through like Reddit. Simone Stig. Superman and Leia in The Last Jedi sucked. She should have used the Force to stop herself from getting sucked out of the ship. Then she's still injured from the explosion and is exhausted from using the Force. I liked ours better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I agree that it was stupid.
It's just animated, not the best.
Yeah, I'm cool with her. It looks like he's cool with her having the Force too.
Right.
I just think it should have been subtle, more subtle. And he agrees that it should be more subtle. Charlie, before I said Bob went full retard. I don't know what that was about.
This, Mr. Brockrock in response to Simone Sig, but then you can't sell Leia Superman 2-pack toys. I mean, and really, that's what we want.
Daddy Sports says, yeah, they use liquefied babies to feed the adults and use them as human batteries / power sources. Is that the Matrix you were talking about? Or is that...
do they liquefy the babies in the Matrix?
If they do, that sounds like an Animatrix thing. Doesn't sound like something they would actually say in the movie.
Yeah. I should rewatch the first Matrix. Is a good movie.
It is. Everything
after that, not so much.
It wasn't good, but I enjoyed that series.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. Those last two movies weren't the best. But
no,
I liked
parts of it. Yeah.
I like that world.
Yeah.
You know? Jordan says Poe has romance with BB-8.
I heard that too. Yeah.
Oh, Viper also says, let's be honest here, Poe's real love is BB-8.
Yeah.
BB-8 was great in this one.
Yes.
Of course.
Apparently, BB-8 is the one who says, "I have a bad feeling about this."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is it, like in a subtitle somewhere? We're gonna
No, but like in his speech in the beginning, he says, "I have a bad feeling about this."
What do you like? You hear it?
Well, no, but like Ryan Johnson said, like, yeah, no, BB-8 says it because apparently whenever he beeps, he's like he has dialogue. They just don't subtitle like Chewbacca. He just doesn't subtitle.
Right. Like they give it to Bill Hader,
Yeah.
and he makes the beeps that he
Yeah,
thinks will be the closest to that. Okay, we'll take like two more.
Okay.
Mr. Brockrock, how do you think they will handle Leia in the next movie? Will it be an off-movie death? I'm concerned. I think Leia will be in it for a decent chunk of it.
I think it's gonna start with her funeral.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they've talked about it before, and they said
they're not going to recast. They're not going to use a CGI replacement.
Yeah.
So I don't think
they didn't talk about how she's going to be in it. Or
no.
they didn't say that she's going to be in it because I
No.
thought they said.
No, they said originally it was going to be she was going to be a focus of it, like a main focus of it. Not anymore.
I think it'd be super weird. I don't want them to I wouldn't want them to make her death affect where they wanted to take the series.
Well, the thing is, I think you can do that. You can acknowledge her death, but at the same time go in a direction like you can still if you acknowledge her death early enough, and you start with the funeral, then the next scene would be what do we do now? We move on. That's what she would have wanted, and then you go right into what the story was going to be. So,
I don't like that because it's still that funeral scene would still be a very important part. You know, it would still change things.
You can't ignore it completely because she survived The Last Jedi. Mm-hmm. So, if she survived The Last Jedi, why isn't she going to be in Episode 9? Like, where is she during all this?
Well, you're assuming that she's just not going to be in it.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be in it. I think they're going to do something.
No, I don't think they would. I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would, because if they're not going to CGI and they're not going to recast, they would have to use footage that they had already. But I don't know. I don't know what they do. They're smart people. They'll figure it out. It's going to be good no matter what they do.
Brandon, I feel like there was a little too much comedy in this Star Wars. Felt like the prequels.
I think it felt like the prequels for other reasons.
I didn't think there was as much comedy in this as there was in The Force Awakens. I felt like whatever comedy was there.
Droid, please.
Yeah.
That part.
I feel like only half as much comedy worked in this movie than it did in The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, I think all the comedy in The Force Awakens worked.
Except for Droid, please.
Even that. But only, like, say half the jokes worked in The Last Jedi.
I think there was just a lot of stuff in The Last Jedi.
There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah. They packed a lot of stuff in.
Yeah.
I don't think the humor is what made it like the prequels, but I think there was other things like a big focus on the creatures, a big focus on a lot of CG elements, and that were a little weird and like out of place.
Yeah.
And Canto Bite. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Yeah. I think that's...
Oh, Don Draper says time skip. I don't know what he's referring to, but it reminded me, Star Wars has just no regard for physics or the way the universe works.
Yeah.
So like there's parts where people are in space, not being sucked out into a vacuum, being able to breathe and not turning to boiling hot skin messes. You know? There is no time dilation at all. So when in The Force Awakens, when the laser blows up all the planets, they see it in real time.
Yeah.
Also, light speed doesn't affect time at all. All this stuff. But I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I don't know what space is like.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with whatever they want to do with that. And that's it.
Yep.
Do your spiel.
Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for chatting with us. As always, Wulff Den Live is every single Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on youtube.com/Wulff Den. If you can't make the show for whatever reason, we always put an archive version of it up on YouTube the next day, Thursday, for you to watch on demand when you want. And nice little bonus thing for you, if you'd rather listen to the show instead of watch it, like maybe you want to do it on your drive to work or on the bus or whatever, we have this as an audio podcast up on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So check us out at any of those places, and if you do, be sure to rate us and review us because that helps us with placement on those respective stores.
That reminds me, I forgot to do a local recording again. That means he has to download the audio off of YouTube.
It's going to take a while. And
thanks, guys. Go over to twitch.tv/BobWolf where I will draw the thumbnail just like I do every week. And this week, I'm probably going to try to be quick because I got a lot of shit to do. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, also, there'll be no stream this Sunday because it's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Usually I stream a game. There won't be that. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, wrong one.